good folks out there. Oh yeah, oh yeah, let's see. I'll share this. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, cool. Everything's all right. This is my Bellatoria mushroom spinach pizza. Some fan of mine said, "Hey, Randy, can you?" Personal. Yeah, a fan of mine said, "Could you eat a pizza while I'm being live?" So I shot it well anyway. Delicious. Mm. Mm. It's delicious. Mm. It's good. That pizza's delicious. Mm. Mm. So we feel all right. Oh, no. Excuse me. Some of these trolls have been opening up my videos and making fun of me, but you know what? I just block you. So don't even think about it, it's trolls. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Brosmere. All right, I'm gonna just eat my Bellatoria pizza. Trying to anyway. Yeah. What's that mushroom spinach pizza? I don't know if I can eat or not. Trying to anyway, but if I can, I might have to go to my bag and let it go. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Trouble is, if I can't eat it, I have to wait till later. Just, yeah, that's the trouble. Breathing problems, and sometimes I have trouble swallowing food. Yeah, I might have to. Damn it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. There. I'll hit my throat. Stop it. There you go. Beat my own throat. Yeah, I said little brother Kenny. No, not oh no, good. Come on. Yeah, good. Finally, it went down. And another orange dreamsicle, green energy drink. Yeah, it's too bad Monster is going to discontinue it. It's a shame. Monster actually made a good drink, or someone who invented it. Now Monster's going to destroy it. And since they won the case against Bang for, I think it was a trademark violation, they're going to get rid of Bang too. Monster will destroy it. Because Monster is a very big energy drink place, you know. It's basically gone right now. Yeah, because when they lost the case, Monster just decided to destroy it. But there's other energy drinks popping up, though. There's other ones popping up, you know. So Monster's not going to get the whole share, you know. So, so I'll look for others. That's fine, you know. Like the 70s and 80s, where AT&T totally dominated the telephone companies. Yeah, like they used to. Everything was AT&T, and that was it. So they broke up the monopoly in court. Yeah, now it's vehicle companies too. And I've said in other videos, Ford got rid of the Mercury name, and General Motors got rid of the Pontiac and Oldsmobile name, and let's see, Chrysler. Let's see, they got rid of the Plymouth name. That's right. And when they kind of bought out American Motors, they got rid of everything in American Motors except for Jeep. That's about it. The only name they kept was Jeep, not the Jeep Eagle. They got rid of that, but that was like the first. I think it was like the first car, basically a car type that was four-wheel drive. It was pretty popular, actually. I've just been too lazy, laying things around, you know, and trying to figure out what to do. Sometimes I don't know what to do. And yeah, did you see me on my last show with Simmy and Jimmy? Did you see that? Did you see that one? God, that was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Jimmy has another show for me in the future, but I'm not going to say what it is, though. I won't say. Maybe not, though. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like in 2-3 days, it has over 2,000 views. Oh, jeez. I wish I can get views up that fast. Yeah. But I don't have a fraction of his talent, so I thank him for bringing me on. I didn't think I'd ever get on again. I didn't think I'd ever get on again. I was very surprised, and I thought to myself, he's asking me to be on again? What? After over 2 years, I thought to myself, well, maybe he forgot about me, and you know, and it's so weird. Just so weird. Yeah. Yeah, and I still gotta. Oh boy. Yeah, they do lots of interviews. Oh geez, they interview lots of people. A lot of the people are the the same ones over and over again, of course, but that's fine. He has his set interviews with like just about everybody. Once in a while, he'll interview somebody from the outside, so to speak, and then that's how he does it. Yeah, I gotta start doing stuff. But trouble is, my relatives, they haven't talked. Most of my relatives basically haven't talked to me lately, so I guess my relatives are too busy speaking with me. Oh well, okay. If that's the way they want it. Okay, nothing I can do about it, really. Nothing I can do about it. They just do what they got to do. Yeah, then they gotta get some playlists to get some professional wrestling matches from way back that I thought was funny. I should put some of that up there. Some of the ones, like this one pro wrestling match. It was like King Kong Brody versus, Al Snow. Yeah, that was the one that later on got famous in the WWE, but he was a jobber back then, versus Al Snow and Coco Lewis. That's the one when he kicked Coco Lewis in the face through the ropes. He actually broke his nose, and it's on there. And the other YouTubers, Angel Shark did once. Random Candor did, but Candor does. Candor's is Candor. I don't know. Just when you think he really wants to, do stuff in the right way, he'll just plain just zap you. Candor's a zapper. And I got tired of his zapping, so I just disappeared on him. Candor's like a zapper. He zaps you. Yeah. But that's about it. And I've interviewed people myself. Oh, yes, happy Valentine's Day. Okay, Octo. Yeah. Yeah, guess who interviewed me, Octo? One of your favorites. You probably saw that already, right? Yeah, that's me. Almost every year. Yep. Yeah, I did. I actually did. Yeah, I did. He asked me back on. It was a big surprise. I thought he wasn't going to ask me anymore. I'm with that nice young man named Hartsy Protsy, that nice young kid. Yeah. I wish I looked like Hartsy when I was young. God, I get dates all the time. I had to look like myself. Of course, I had hair and a lot dumber when I was a kid. I wish I had something like this when I was a kid. Maybe I would have. I would have a lot more subscribers because I could do a lot more stuff than I can now. But since I'm in my 60s, I tend to forget. Tend to forget. And we got 5 people. Hooray! Thank you for joining us, good folks. Yeah, that's actually happened, Octo. You check it out. Octo, he'll go check it out right away. I know him. Really? Wow. He say, Octo would say, wow, wowee. Anyway, when that was in Mankato, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep, that's the one, the latest one. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, he has surprise questions for me. He'll surprise you. That's Jimmy. He'll surprise you. He loves surprises. I'm sitting there, huh? Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't easy. Me, yeah, I know. There'll be another, maybe not. There'll be another episode in the future. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though. That's a secret. I don't tell. I will not tell. But maybe, maybe not, though. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. He says it will, but then maybe he has others. I, I, I don't, like I say, I have my own crummy show and I talk about nothing most of the time. And that Tom Van McKeldin borrowed my car and went to Mankato and loving to watch traffic go by in stoplights. To me, that's boring. To him, that's exciting. Brainless Tom, of course. Yeah. Yeah, I did go to Mankato for a while, and I did catch a check, and yeah, I went to the thrift shops. Let's see, when did I buy at the thrift shop? Remember when I bought at the thrift shop? Crap, kind of slipped my mind. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I bought. Dang, I just hate forgetting. Oh, I hope I don't get Alzheimer's disease. Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Bought a new keyboard for $3.99. Yeah, you see my. Yeah, this old one kind of crapping on me. Yeah, I bought it at the Salvation Army thrift shop for $4. I got the Salvation Army. I went to the Salvation Army. I bought a keyboard, and I was looking around for CD music. I didn't see any. I was looking for books I could read. I didn't see any. And they had some. Did they have many options? Oh, you mean for buying stuff? Well, this time, not really. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they have a lot of cool stuff. But this time, not so much. For keyboards? Well, I got this one because it looks just like the other one, it's just like it, It's exactly the same. That's what I wanted. So I keyed in on it. And then I went to the thrift shop. I bought a scale for $5.99. I bought a needle scale, a sunbeam, so I could weigh myself. My doctor wanted me to buy a scale, and I bought that. And I bought a couple of CDs of Native American music for $1 a piece. Sometimes I get into the Native American music, Yeah, I really like it myself. Some people don't like it. I do. Sometimes yep, works great. Yep, works great. It says I weigh like 204 pounds. Yeah, works great. Yeah. Yeah, I bought some. Actually, it's in the other. It's in the other room right now. You guys probably never heard of it, but one of the bands, they come from the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. I drove by Pine Ridge. That's a very, very poor area. Yeah. Those that can't fight better leave if you're alive. A lot of physical violence in Pine Ridge. That's what I've heard. So I heard about Pine Ridge. Oh yeah, and out in Ponsford, a lot of fights in Ponsford too. That one town. That's on I think the Red Lake Reservation. Yeah, lots of not nice areas though, the reservations, but yeah, be careful. Don't get people mad. Don't get the people mad. They fight. Nothing to do with race. Nothing to do with it. I'm just saying the people who live there. I said people. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's people of other races. I'm sure there's people of other races that live in the reservation too. Hey. Yeah, I drove by Pine Ridge. Yeah, I've been in Red Lake. Yeah, I've been in that one in Shakopee. There's one in Shakopee. They own a big casino out in Shakopee, Minnesota. Yeah, see, the thing is, at the time, they were building casinos, and the reservations were making a lot of money. So the states started to put out the lottery games because the reservations were making money like crazy. So then the states thought to themselves, let's create the lottery and make some money. That's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did. That's why you see gambling almost everywhere now, is because the reservations had casinos and stuff like in every state, because they're a sovereign nation on a technicality anyway. Still, they got to follow the laws of the United States in many ways. Yeah. No, we don't have casinos in New Ulm, but we have one in. I'll have to check out the Google Maps. Oh yeah. Oh yes. So now you're okay. Come on. Let's see. Yeah, out Morton, Minnesota. On the town of Morton, Minnesota, they have a casino. Yeah, Morton, Morton, Morton. I've been out there. I did a YouTube channel on Morton, Minnesota. Yeah, a lot of them come. And there's that one in Walker. They have a casino out there too. That's on the reservation. I've been in Walker. Yeah, I've been out there. Yeah. No, one time I think it was out in South Dakota. Walker. There you go. You're in a Walker. Walker. That name is actually spelled right. Walker, Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, Walker's a pretty nice town. I mean, the entertainment isn't. I don't know how you explain it. I'll put it this way: I prefer to go to Alexandria myself for a town. Yeah. Oh, the worst towns. To be honest with you, the town of Monaga doesn't excite me really at all, to be honest. But those that like Monaga, go there, have a good time. It's only my opinion. Monaga is one of them. Let's see. Hancock, Minnesota, Hancock, Hancock. That's not very exciting. Of course, I did a YouTube video on that one before they tore down a block of old buildings. When it was up, it was a total wreck. Let's see. Some other towns I can think of. Let's see. Park Rapids, Minnesota. That's kind of a tourist trap. It's a tourist trap town. And when I used to go to Park Rapids, I wasn't. No, they had Super Value. They had a cool video game at the time. That was one of the reasons I went to Park Rapids at this old Super Value grocery store, but they demolished it. The reason they had a supermarket over there. They used to have like Nintendo video games. They had a cool Nintendo video game, the Nintendo NES, Oh, get this. They had a game called North versus South. That's actually outstanding. And you know how much money they want for like an unopened box of the North versus South game? $600. $600. Yeah, no, 900. It was close. It was 600. Yeah, 600. That's a lot of money for a Nintendo NES game. Let's see. Yeah. A lot of money for a Nintendo NES game. Yeah, and for the Nintendo NES, I do like Bad News Baseball. I don't know. I'm kind of nervous getting it on eBay though, because what if that game turns into a dud or something, you know? And they want like what $30, $35 for it. I mean, that's kind of spendy for an old video game that might not be in a box, and who knows if the owner cleaned it or not. It's kind of sketchy, you know. Let's see, where's it? Where God, this piece of shit. Fucking door. I have to throw this out. I'm glad Office Max is going out of business. Where did I put that? Yeah, I had a. Okay, Octo. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. I know you were wondering too, Octo. Was I going to be on a show? Yeah, you were wondering, Octo. I know. Well, I got on a show and it was a surprise. Yeah, I got surprised, Octo. Yeah, I know you were hoping. You were like this, Octo. Please put Randy on Monkey Show. Please put Randy on Monkey Show. And I got on this show. Yeah, yeah. It was a surprise. There may not be another one, but I'm not gonna. I don't know. Yeah, it was a surprise. It was. I was surprised. He asked me back on after over 2 years. I was surprised. Very surprised. No, it was that drawer. I was trying to find my little race car. I'll tell you what. I'll be right back quick. I'll see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'll show you. Okay. This guy, okay, that I bought it from, this little race car, it was in a square box like this, right? Okay, when I opened the box, the car did not have any of this bubble wrap. Because if I was doing eBay and somebody wanted to buy my stuff, I'd always use bubble wrap on everything, you know. I'll bubble wrap it again. Okay, I paid, yeah, pretty bad. Okay, as you see on this race, I don't know if you can see it good or not. On this race car, you see how nice the wheels are, right? Very nice. Very nice. And in the front, there's no windshield. Get this, I paid $10.50 for this little race car. And the only reason I bought this little race car is this is the fastest little race car I ever had when I raced cars. I raced against all these Hot Wheels cars and Matchbox. Yes, even the Hot Mongoose and Snake Edition. And those are very expensive, you know. This one would beat every car easy. It goes very fast. Sometime I got to get a partner. I'm going to race it around the store. Very fast little car. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? A checkered car. Looks cool. Yeah, that's true. But see, I looked at the bottom wheels, though. You know, I know. But it was a memory as a kid, though. That's the thing. It was a memory as a kid. I mean, there's no windshield, but the rest of the car does not look bad, you know. And the wheels are very nice. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, when I was a kid, I had a cool car like this. Okay, I had it, but see, my dad at the time, my brother and I, he says, all right, let's get rid of a lot of these toys around here. There's too much stuff. I said, but Dad, he says, oh, you have more than enough race cars. Get rid of some of them. But Dad, no buts. Get rid of it. I had to. Yeah, and when we had the rummage sale, sold something like this plus we had a windshield, 5 cents. When the guy looked at all our race cars, he bought the whole thing. He bought all my mother's tumbler glasses. He bought everything. I bet that guy made a killing off our stuff too. Yep, this one guy. Yep. Imagine that. Yep. Yeah, he just bought all my mother's tumblers. He bought all the cars that we were selling. Yeah, we're kind of beat up, but still, that guy must have been a visionary. He must have been a visionary when he bought those things, you know. You know, some people surprisingly are visionaries. You know, no, a stranger. He is a stranger who went to garage sales. He must have read magazines on it or something. Remember, this was in the late 70s before the internet, you know, and eBay and stuff. That was before eBay and internet car deals and all that good stuff. Yep, that was before that time. Excuse me. Yep, that was before that time. Yeah, it was before that time. It was just so weird. Now, he was just a stranger and he bought that stuff. Must have been a visionary. I mean, look at the time. Well, look at the Chryslers. If you ever looked at old Chrysler vehicles of the 60s and 70s when they had the heavy and six pack, you used to get those kind of vehicles for like $3,000, you know. And one day there was this one guy who was outside of Wadena, who was buying all those cars. He says, make an offer on your Heavys and six pack cars and stuff or your Chryslers. And my ex-friend Ken Tucker told me, he says he wants to buy them because he's going to hoard them. And Ken says those Chrysler cars are going to be worth big money in 20 years, he told me. And he was right. Well, the best years for cars, in my opinion, the ones for looks, I'll say between, oh, geez. I'll go to the 1960s all the way to I'll say for the looks department, for the looks. 60s, I'd say all the way to maybe the early 90s. But the early 80s, though, Chrysler just had some ugly K cars and stuff. They just look boxy. Ugh. It's like driving a tut-tut. The people in Asia, it's like driving a tut-tut when you drive a K car. Yeah, that's for sure. I'd say the late 60s and early 70s, they were cool. I'm surprised more parades aren't like Vining, Minnesota, because I have a YouTube video on Vining, Minnesota. They had all those old cars. There was a population of 89 in that town. That was the best parade I've ever been to anywhere. It had all these old cool cars. Yeah. Yeah, where is the mayor of Vining, Minnesota? I mean, see, Vining, Minnesota is famous for a lady named Karen Nygaard who used to live there. She became an astronaut and flew to outer space. She came from Vining, Minnesota. And one of her relatives, they built a bunch of statues of Karen in outer space and stuff in an astronaut suit. Pretty far out. I mean, besides the parades, people left because don't like parades of Vining, Minnesota. People, I guess they don't like. I guess they're not interested. I guess some of those people would rather ride the modern vehicles. Well, every once in a while, they do have car shows. You know, like out in the street and stuff, they'll have old cars and stuff like that. I did film that once out in Perham, Minnesota, but hardly anybody watched it. No, I never have. Never been to the Woodward cruise. Nope, never been there. Nope, never been there. Now, I was between the 60s and 1960s. Oh, yeah, and I once owned 1970 Buick LeSabre four-door with that 352 barrel V8 engine. That car, if I raced my Grand Marquis against that car, we'd be probably neck and neck in a race. We'd be neck and neck. Yeah, because back then, those vehicles in 1970 didn't have any pollution control hardly at all, except for a little PCV valve, which doesn't do much, and the only gas that ran on that 1970 Buick LeSabre was the premium leaded gas. That was the only gas that could run the car, because when I used that regular leaded, it didn't have enough lead, and then the car would keep running when I shut it off. It was just weird. Yeah, it was weird. And one time when gas was it 89 cents a gallon? Yeah, I went to this gas station, $1.57. And old Brian Howell next door said, "Hey, these are racing gas. They're pretty cool, Gas is about $2.43. $2.43 a gallon. There's cheaper in other areas, but I think it's kind of expensive in New Ulm because we have a lot of hills, the gas trucks got to go up and down the hills and stuff like that. And, yeah. Yeah. And of course, I think, was it the K station or whatever? I don't know. I think David, I don't know. Somebody controls the gas prices. That's for sure. It's just like Orton's up in central Minnesota when they own gas stations. They used to tell some of these gas stations, either put the price the way I do, or I'm going to price so low I'll put you out of business. He says, I own 17 gas stations. He told one gas station owner in Monaga, and he had to do it. The gas station owner that owned 17 gas stations threatened him. And one time in Park Rapids, see, they had a gas war with gas prices was between, BP, which is owned by Orton, Pete's Supermarket, and I think at the time, no, you can only lower your gas price to a certain regulated price, or high price. They have regulated prices of, I think, was it 60, 70 cents per gallon or something like that. Yeah, you can fluctuate it that way, see. But if you go lower than what they want or higher what they want, they fine you. That's how they regulate the gas prices, But you can't put it lower than the regulated price, otherwise the gas station gets fined. And in the 90s, they were fined like $50,000 to Orton. 50,000, that's a drop in the bucket. But someone like Pete's Petroleum, that little gas station, $50,000, that's more than their year's income. So they'd have to either sell the gas station or close it down. Well, yeah, they're very strict on gas station regulations, very strict. I wouldn't want to own a gas station. I wouldn't want to own an abandoned gas station. That's the last place on earth I'd ever want to own is an abandoned gas station, because my father bought this one in Wadena, which is now Westside Sports. Yeah, it was like $25,000. Everybody told him in our family, including me. I said, Dad, don't buy it. My dad says, oh, yeah, but it's a moneymaker. Oh, Lester. And Lester Harstead came down telling my dad, oh, you got to buy it. Oh, they're going to build the freeway through the gas station. Oh, my dad was believing the bullshit Lester was telling him. I told Dad, I said, they're not going to turn on the gas station in Wadena, because one thing about the gas station was on the same block as Hockert's Wood Place with Ace Hardware, plus the county fair. They had the Wadena County Fair over there. They're not going to turn on the county fair. People really lose their shit if you turn on the county fair. Really, Horsted, yeah, he was basic horse shit, yeah. Oh, Lester. Well, at least Lester admitted he was stupid once to me. He used to own this he was an electrician's contractor out in South Dakota in a small town. Oh, Lester to my father. Well, Lester called my late Uncle Ed his best friend. My late Uncle Ed called Homer Stevenson his best friend. You know what Homer Stevenson gave my late uncle in his will? A 1968 Chevy truck with a 6-cylinder. The short box on the front, there was a long box on the back. Homer welded it together, see, because he was a junkyard mechanic, because he could do body work. He was a millionaire. And also, he gave my Uncle Ed a 1963 Buick Riviera. It had that 425 4-barrel V8 engine. It was a pearl white car with white interior. And that car at Barrett Jackson, in mint condition like that, would go for about at least $150,000 or more. Yeah, my dad was telling my uncle to sell the car. I said, Ed, don't sell that Riviera. Keep it. I said, keep it. I said, please put it somewhere. Rent a garage. Then he sold it for $1,200. He cried his eyes out for the rest of his life. No, not if you buy it at Barrett Jackson. No. Oh, no. It's expensive. Oh, if you're, okay, yeah, I'll tell you what. Type in 1963 Buick Riviera pictures. You type that. It's like no other vehicles in 63, because in 1963, remember, a lot of the vehicles are like very boxy. The Riviera was ahead of its time. That car was ahead of its time. Oh God, it's beautiful. It's such a cool style. So the interior is very cool too. It has that silver shifter on the floor. I bet you looked at that car, and if you won the lottery, I bet you'd buy that Riviera, something like that. Cheaper than $150,000, but. Yeah, if a person thinks that's expensive, look at that guy Barris when he designed the Batmobile, that 55 Lincoln chassis. They got like $5 million for the Batmobile at Barrett Jackson. $5 million for the Batmobile. $5 million. And to me, I mean, look at the Batmobile. It's built out of it's a big, huge car. It's huge. Oh, the Riviera. Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Beautiful. But the teenagers didn't really use them for race cars, though. For race cars, they'd use like Mustangs, Chevelles. Let's see. There's other ones, too. The Dusters, the Darts, the Challengers, the Chargers. Torinos, the Cyclone. It was based off a Lincoln, I think a Lincoln Continental, kind of a Lincoln chassis. It was designed by a guy named Barris or something like that. He's famous. He designed the Monkey Mobile. That was like a mid-60s Pontiac GTO. I like the Monkey Mobile actually better than the Batmobile. I like the Monkey Mobile for the monkeys. Here he comes. Out down the street, yet funniest laughs from everyone we meet. Hey, we're the monkeys. He'd say, I used to like Peter Tork at the time, but no, I like that Monkey Mobile. Oh, that was cool. Oh man, that Monkey Mobile would be expensive too. Yeah, Monkees, monkeys. Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty good. Yeah, they were pretty good. And Davy Jones, what I've learned in school, Davy Jones, he didn't shave. He didn't really shave his beard or mustache until he's like 30 years old. Yep, about 30 years old. That's when he first shaved. That was very interesting. In his 20s, he couldn't grow facial hair at all. Yep, no, one. No, it's one. Mickey Dolenz is the only one alive. Michael Nesmith is dead. Peter Tork is dead, and Davy Jones is dead. Davy Jones was the first to die. Then it was Peter Tork, and then it was Michael Nesmith. Yes. Yeah. So Mickey Dolenz was the only one alive. And Michael Nesmith, his mother invented this one thing called liquid paper where you could erase stuff off a typewriter. Then when she sold the company, she made like $40 million. Then when she died, I think she gave, God, I think 20 or 27 million to Michael Nesmith. She gave a lot of the other stuff. I think she had cancer or something. I think she gave it to the American Cancer Society or something like that. Because some people, when they get a disease and when they die, and when the medical people try to treat it, some people give a lot of money, just like Michael Landon did, Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? Huge. Yeah, sometimes if you're really into vehicles, I watched Jay Leno's Garage. Oh, Jay Leno gets the coolest vehicles. You type a vehicle, put Jay Leno's Garage, he'd have almost all of it. He drives these. Oh, he has vehicles that goes back to like 1908, 1909. Oh, he has this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, I'll look it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that does look cool. I like the convertible. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Yeah, I saw that. Huh. Yeah, I like the one in 48 much better. Yeah, I think for Continental nowadays, I know they once. I think the worst. Oh God, I know the Cadillacs in the early '80s were very ugly. Yeah, the Continental after '79, it was a bummer. I think '78 and '79, they made the car was at 19 feet 6 inches long. Oh, it does. Yeah, a lot of those old vehicles do. Yeah. No, I drive it. I wouldn't be ashamed of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I knew a guy in Wadena, Minnesota. He was driving a 1973 Ford Country Squire station wagon around town. Still, it was rusted as it was just rusted like crazy. But still, it was pretty cool. He drove a 1973 Country Squire Ford Country Squire wagon around Wadena. I bet that thing took gas. And that 48, that'd take a lot of gas. Of course, you have to have, if you have the old time engines, like back in 48, you have to use octane booster or get that special gas for like $10 a gallon because you can't run it on today's gas with that 48 though, unless you get a modern engine. Then you have to do a bunch of stuff at the garage. And those specialists, they're not cheap. You gotta pay up. You gotta pay up. Oh, I mean that guy in the Ford. I didn't know the guy. I didn't know the guy at all. I saw him hop in his car a couple of times, like a real old man. I I don't know. People in Wadena, Minnesota, they were pretty much unapproachable. A lot of the people. Unless you really get to know people in Wadena, they don't want to talk to you. Of all the years I lived in Wadena, when you walk around, say, when I lived down in southern Minnesota, like New Ulm and Mankato, I was offered rides to places probably 10, 12 times. Wadena, once. I was walking to downtown because I had car problems. The postman picked me and said, hey, you need a ride downtown? I said, sure. He drove me a couple miles. I said, need money for gas? He said, no, that's okay. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you for the ride. You're welcome. That was the only time I ever got a ride in Wadena in the 20 years off and on I lived in that town. Oh, yeah, people don't give you rides in central Minnesota. They don't give you rides up there. No, you're different. But I mean, yeah, down here there's more car shows. There's so many activities down here. That's if you have the money, and I usually don't. But Yeah, down here is more for me. I I like there's a lot less pollen down here. Like I said, I know I've said it in other shows, but like up in central Minnesota and Wadena, they had so much pollen, my nose would run like crazy, wipe it. I'd use boxes of puffs a year. I mean, dang. Now I probably use about five in the whole year, maybe less depending on the weather. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I saw a guy drive around town in a 68 Ford Galaxy convertible. He drives around every now and then. It's a red car. Looks real cool, actually. And sometimes I'll see him drive by in auto shows when they have it outside. Yeah, I should catch him sometime. Too bad my Kodak ZX3s have conked out now. All of them have. I got to figure out what's wrong with them. Of course, you take it to the computer. I know. I guess I could take it to the computer shops. I don't know, but they're just darn expensive. Those independent places. Oh, geez, they charge up the nose. Oh, which one? Oh, you mean the guy in the Country Squire, or yeah? Oh, yeah. Yeah. You don't really want to offer free rides to people because the trouble with people these days, once you offer free rides to some of them, they'll keep sticking their hand out on you. I've been through that many times. You know, ride vehicles for money. Sometimes in some cities and stuff, people can rent those classic old cars and stuff. You know, and maybe they put modern engines in or whatever. But the only thing is, it's expensive to rent it by the day, though. Oh, geez, probably a lot more than your typical Hertz rent a car or Avis. I bet it's a lot more expensive. They probably make you do $1,000 deposit or something like that. Oh yeah, they go crazy on you. They'll go crazy when what they charge because those classic cars, oh boy, yeah, yeah. It's just, and the reason they have a lot of that stuff where they have those alarms, it's those stupid burglars, the criminal types. They've ruined it for the rest of us. The trouble is, when you have those real old cars, though, you wouldn't want to drive it around a big city or anything, say, Minneapolis or Milwaukee or Chicago or Indianapolis, Los Angeles or Phoenix or any of those big cities, because those criminals, they'll steal that car lickety split. Yeah, they'll steal cars like that or trucks or whatever. They'll steal it easy. Easy for them. Yeah, easy day to make money for them. I'm sure some of them use a lot more modern alarm systems. Yeah, these criminals. Ugh. Yeah, these criminals, they make me so mad. Yeah, ruin it for the rest of us. Yeah, criminals ruin it for the rest of us. No, I've never done a donut, but I have fired up the tires before. But oh, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it on videos. Well, not in the street lately, but I've seen it on Charlie Bow 313 videos when he goes around towns, like Detroit and stuff. They have these guys doing donuts all the way around. They just drive real crazy on the street. And in those areas of the country, the police budget is, see, out in those areas like Detroit and some of those other towns, they can't collect enough tax money, so they can't hire law enforcement to worry about those people doing donuts because they're busy trying to catch burglars and stuff. I wouldn't want to be no cop in those kind of places. Not me. No way. If I was ever in law enforcement, I'd want to be in the rich areas where it's safe, where it's safer. It's not totally safe, but safer. Yeah, I'd rather be a cop in, since I'm from Minnesota, like Edina or White Bear Lake, the rich areas. That'd be for me. Oh yeah, cop has a risky job, so is a sheriff. You have the whole county to worry about then if you're a sheriff. Yeah, and as they say, the sheriff's ahead of the police. Yeah, I would want. I forget. I wouldn't want no law enforcement for me because I know they. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't want to be a cop or a sheriff or any else. Any country on earth, and especially I wouldn't want to live in the dictatorship countries neither. You know. What if they falsely accuse you of a say you live in one of those say you and I live in one of those dictatorship countries, for example. Just imagine. Oh geez, I hate to think about it. What if they falsely accuse you of, let's say the police captain say to think of a country, say North Korea. Let's put it like a police captain in North Korea, say accused you or me of say stealing a wallet off his desk, but we didn't do it. Oh God, I hate to think what would happen. That's why I wouldn't want to live. I don't even want to. You couldn't pay me enough money to visit North Korea. I'd rather be a cop, of course. I wouldn't want to fight a war in the military because war is he double hockey sticks or toothpicks or war is hell. Yeah, yeah. Because my dad, he had a good friend named Harvey Peterson some years back. He was like a paratrooper in Normandy in World War II. See, back then, when according to what Harvey told my dad told me, um, you see, in parachute school, they used to teach the troops if your buddy is hanging from a tree and say it's hanging on the neck, you have a choice between saving your buddy or doing your mission. They said to the person, you do your mission and leave your buddy behind. And that's what Harvey did. He had a buddy who had, I think had a wife and two kids at home. He saw him. He's hanging from a tree. And he said, "Help, Harvey, help!" Harvey, he didn't know what to do. Then he did the mission. Harvey drank himself to death. He lived to be in his 80s, mind you, but Harvey just drank himself to death. He couldn't handle it. It freaked him out. I mean, imagine that. They taught that in parachute school. Yeah. Oh, the most dangerous city in America? Oh, I wouldn't even want to think about that. What do you want to? No, I wouldn't even want to think about that. No, I think if I was starting out in law enforcement, I started out in like a smaller town. You know, I started out in a smaller town or something. Where there's like say 8,000 people or something like that. Start out there, and then hopefully you'll get a big city cop job. That's what a lot of law enforcement do too. You know, they'll start out in the smaller towns, and then the bigger cities. You know, they get more of the dough, and they'll go to the bigger cities. You know, oh, some will stay in small towns, sure, because some people like the small town atmosphere. You know, some like the small town. Yeah. No, I'd start in a small town. I wouldn't want to go to those downtown areas. Not me. Because what if you say we're a law officer in one of those big cities, then you have this judges in court keep letting the criminals out all the time. They might target you and me. You know, yeah. There's, yeah. I'd start in the smaller towns. Yeah, I start in the smaller towns, and as long as it's in a safe suburb, where the rich people are, that'd be fine. Because the rich people, they'll always support law enforcement. If you go to the poor side of town, most people do not like law enforcement. Most don't like them. No, I wouldn't want that. No cop for me. Anyways, I'm 61 years old and I can't fight. And I took Thorazine as a kid and stuff, and my school record. And when they see my school records, they won't touch me. I couldn't pass their physical test because I can't do pull-ups. They require you to do pull-ups and stuff like that. And, you know, I have a lot of arm strength and I don't have enough of that. So, like I say, I wouldn't want to be in law enforcement whatsoever. No, thank you. Not my kind of thing to do. Oh, you mean the way it is now? I don't know. That's a tough call. But I noticed there's getting to be more graffiti in town lately. And I've heard there's been a lot of break-ins in garages through the grapevine. Yeah, one guy was telling me, yeah, there's been a lot of break-ins in town. Another guy says, yeah, I have a neighbor. He had like, was it $1,800 worth of tools stolen out of his garage? Yeah, $1,800 worth of tools. Yeah, criminals love the tools. Yeah, they target those. Tools are not cheap. They're not cheap, and criminals love to make use out of tools. You know, screwdrivers and hammers and. Yeah, I'm no fan of the criminals. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Last major event. Oh yeah, that thing at the Legion thing. That was sort of an event. I told you I did go down there and I met those two nice young gentlemen. You know, I put. Let's see, where did I put that wristband? I put it someplace. Yeah, I'll find it later. I still have it. I'm never going to throw it out or anything. I'll always keep it. But yeah, I went over there. It was just very interesting. And you're like charging me $15. I thought to myself, I'm charged $15. I'm a guest. That's odd. But I paid it anyway. They were going to give me the whole $15 back because I guess the class president told them, oh, yeah, that's true. It was just weird. No, I'm not mad at those young men at all. I made a deal. You know, I could have taken the full 15, but I had a glass of beer and they gave me 10. I thought that was well fair enough, you know, because I drank a glass of beer and I don't believe in drinking people's profits, you know, because I mean, they're young people. I'm sure some of those young women and men were telling the class president, do we have to have that old man over there? I didn't hear him say that. No, I'm sure some of them probably told him. Then he went to them and said, we don't want that old guy around. Send him away. I could have sat upstairs and talked to the ticket lady, but I just didn't feel like it. So I couldn't finish my beer. I left it down. And I guess with that, I had a gummy with it and it messed up my, yeah. And it kind of messed up my clouded thinking, you know, at the time. The beer did. And plus, I'm not going to drink beer anymore because when I drink beer, I was just, every time I ate food, I barfed. I mean, I was just barfing like mad and stuff. So no more beer for me. Nope. Plus, if I would have drove my car, I wouldn't even drink a beer. But then my car was in the shop because I had a flat tire, you know, and then I towed it to the shop, so I had no car at the time. Otherwise, if I had drove my car, no beer, no drugs, period. Nope, not a drop. Because I like to drive sober. And with those laws like $1,000 fine and lose your license, no thanks. No thanks. I'll drive sober. After losing my license for 2 years, you know, after losing it for 2 years, and finally my sister got her ex-boyfriend to have me drive his old Forenza, and I took it to the driver's thing in Plymouth. I was driving on the track, and then he had me do the 3 left turns again, and I did. He said, you know what? I would have failed you, but instead I gave you a chance to do the left turns and you did it correctly. He says, here's one thing when I ask you about you. I read that you got into an accident, right? I read your accident. I said, yes. He says, tell me about it. It was out by Olson Highway. I told him about the left turn I took. And I said, the other car was going too fast. He sold it. He said, are you sure that car went too fast? I said, I swear. He says, no. Did you read the other car's speedometer? No. You can't see their speedometer, can you? I thought, I better answer right, I said, no. He said, think about it. When you turn left, you got to watch the other vehicle. You got to time them more carefully. He says, if you turn left in certain roads, he says, sometimes it takes a long time to turn left when traffic's going by. But here's a trick to it. He says, turn right, go by a stoplight, and maybe you get one with an arrow. You turn like left or right. See, well, no, he said turn left. He says, then turn left to the less busy road, turn left and turn right. He says, it may take extra time. He said, it may take extra 5 to 15 minutes. He says, but that's a lot better than waiting an hour or two for the cops. And he told me, he says, yeah, cops hate working on accidents. That's one job they don't like. He says, they'd rather catch criminals. I said, oh, yeah, I thought that makes sense. So he told me to always practice my left turns. He says, first, you start on a kind of deserted road. He says, then you go on the roads that are not so busy. And you go on roads busy. Then he says, hey, I have a question. Do you know anybody that scored high on their driver's test? I said, hi, his sisters, I got about 90. He says, yeah, perfect. Take them with you so they can explain to you on left turns. I'm sure with a 92 score, I'm sure they pass their left turns easy. Yeah. Well, I never asked him, but, well, my left turns got better. And sometimes the way people drive, it's hard to make a good left turn because some of these people, they don't know where they turn. Yeah. And sometimes my own car with that big nose in the front. Yeah. Oh, wow. I just hope this year will be a better year. I'll just cross my fingers. Cross my fingers anyway. So I could do some towns on YouTube again, I hope. Or maybe I could do some parades or fairs or something. Yeah, maybe I should. That'd be an idea. Yeah, I should chow more down on this pizza. I'm getting kind of slow and it's getting cold. Yeah, Bellatoria pizza is actually delicious. Yeah. To me, Bellatoria pizza, it's better than almost any restaurant pizza out there, in my opinion. Almost any of them. But I mean, some people have different opinions, but yeah. Yeah, Red Baron is okay, but Red Baron has too much crust. It's very crusty. Because Red Baron's kind of thick crust, if you ever noticed. That's why it's $1 cheaper at Walmart than Bellatoria. Sometimes for Bellatoria, you can get it on sale at Cashwise or Hy-Vee, but Hy-Vee has the better sale than Cashwise. Cashwise has more variety. It's like 50 cents higher, but then you got to buy 4 or 5 pizzas. Where Hy-Vee, you could just buy one. Then they have like 5 or 6 different varieties. That's enough. Yeah, Cashwise has like 10 or 11, but for 50 cents more though. Yeah. I don't know. I just have no idea. I kind of had it recorded a little bit because I didn't edit that out, but I just don't understand. I don't know if anybody recorded them or not. I didn't see anybody ready to record or anything as I know of. It's just odd. I mean, I go to my relatives' parties, they all say to me, keep the cameras, no camera on Randy. It's my relatives for you. No fun. Yeah, there was some people there at the time. I think there was like 20 people or something, like in the background. I didn't try to mingle with them or anything, but yeah, I didn't want to stick around and see if it's crowded or not. I didn't feel like sitting upstairs talking to the ticket lady, so and I didn't feel like hanging around the bar. I mean, I didn't have much money anyway, and I had that one beer. And then when I got home, I couldn't eat food because I did take a gummy before I went there, though. To be honest with you, I was on the gummy because I walked there. I walked there. I was flying on the gummy. I was flying on the gummy at the time. Right now, I'm not flying on the gummy, but I'm not right now. Because if I am, you'd know it. Because sometimes I'll just sit there and, yeah, that was the American Legion. It was a pretty nice bar, actually. The bar doesn't look that good on the outside, but you go inside, you notice it's very nice in there. On the outside, it kind of looks like a building ready to fall apart. It's just weird about places sometimes. It looks like a dump. It looks kind of uh, blah on the outside, but on the inside, it's just nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's some real nice bars too on the outside and dumps on the inside too. There's some like that too. Kind of surprising. Yeah. Well, get this too. This is kind of about commercials. Okay, everybody's heard of Ronald McDonald, right? Well, I remember when I was a kid, I actually liked the Marvelous Magical Burger King better, and I replayed it on those old shows. Yeah, I actually still like the Marvelous Magical Burger King better. It's the Marvelous Magical Burger King. I can do most anything. Yeah, that's when he wasn't. But later on, they made him look really, really creepy. But when they first had that guy on there, he didn't look creepy at all. He actually, looked like a regular magician. Looked like a regular guy that likes to do magic tricks. Yeah, he just looked like a regular guy. Huh. But sometimes though, the marketers they get their funny ideas. Oh yeah, then they changed. Oh, I got a Walmart Spark survey thing. They changed their Annie Chung's packaging. Before it looked pretty good, but then after a while, they make some funky looking art. Yeah, I don't know if it doesn't have that non-GMO project verified in Annie Chung's. I don't think I'll buy it. And I read about Annie Chung herself, how much money she made on it. I guess she made, get this, oh, the Legion. Let's see. I think it was like almost a mile away. Not very far. Almost a mile. One guy offered me a ride at the apartment, but I told him no, I can walk. Walking's good. Walking keeps me in shape. So that way I don't end up in a wheelchair because my family they won't help me. So that's why I keep exercising. So that way my plus walking around's fun. Sometimes I find money. Sometimes I find pens and pencils. You know, yeah, because nowadays for businesses they used to give away free pens and pencils all the time. Nowadays, hardly any of them do. Yeah, most businesses they don't give anything free, not nothing, because too many people see. Let's pretend like all these pins are for free. Some of these yo-yos will go like this. Take a bunch of them, take them home. They probably only use one. You know. Yeah. This pizza's going down pretty good. Yeah, this pizza's going down pretty good. Mm. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, yeah. Those young people at the college when they graduate, I hope they make a lot of money getting high-paying jobs. I hope they all make it. Even the ones that didn't want me around. Hey, they never harassed me or called me names. They're cool to me. Those college kids all are cool. Even the ones that didn't want me around, they're still cool because they didn't call me names or make faces at me. And when I went over there, of course, I at the time I put on this hat so I'd be recognized. So I put on this hat so they recognized me. Yeah, my old Pomoa hat when I got in New Orleans for I think it was like $22 or $24. Yeah, paid a lot of money for the hat. Yeah, my old hat from New Orleans. Yeah, speaking of New Orleans, it's one town I like to go to again. Very exciting. Very fun town, New Orleans. Very fun town. Yeah, very fun town. I would. Mm. Oh, delicious. Oh, much pizza. Mm. Hey, we got 7 people here. Hey, it's great. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Let's have a party. I left. Who left? Darn. And always some party poopers. I got always the party poopers. Yeah, always the party poopers. They did. I think they had a couple there. Yeah. Oh, you made the bar that I went to. I think did have a couple over there. Yeah, but they're mostly older. There were a couple of young people, a couple older people. A lot of the students they were like downstairs at stuff at the Legion. And Martin Luther College, that's actually a very religious college. Yeah, because I mean, when you walk around in the campus, you see all kinds of biblical scriptures and stuff. Like you know, all kinds of things. It is a nice college campus. You don't see any partying there on the weekends, and like some of those colleges, like those major ones, like so the University of Minnesota or something, or or I don't know. Now they have more security cameras, though. Yeah, everybody's got a camera. It seems like. Oh man, it just. This pizza's good. Very delicious pizza. Very delicious. Yeah, I don't think there was a motorcycle bench. It was just a college party downstairs with with students. You know, they're like 21 and stuff. I was making sure because I've like I say, I don't want to get in trouble with law enforcement or anything. That's all I need. That's all I need. That's all I need. Getting excuse me. That's all I need is getting in trouble with law enforcement. That'd be no fun. That'd be no fun. Yeah. That damn breathing. Oh, come on, stop. Options at the bar? No, they usually around here. They usually have like farmers auctions. See if they have to auction their machinery or something like that, or their vehicles. They have a lot of farmers auctions, like outside in New Ulm. Stuff like that. I think for the auctions, if it's like auctioning stuff, say in a warehouse, I think a lot of that's in Mankato. You have to go way to Mankato for that. I don't think there's one in New Ulm as far as I know of. I know there's auction stuff in Mankato. Yeah. No, I don't know much. That's the first time I've ever been to Legion Bar. As far as I know, it's like a drinking bar. Yeah, they have this one bar it's been for sale for 3 years. It's called the Lamplighter. That's like right next to the Frederick Kiesling house. That's the one that the dogs were going pee on the snow. And yeah, so I did a YouTube video on it. I mean, there's just classless people having their dogs pee in the snow like that, Yeah, so many people nowadays own dogs. It's not even funny. So many people own dogs. And if I see a dog in the same side of the street as me, I'll cross the street. I will cross the street because I don't feel like being a dog's two-legged plaything, No thanks. No thanks to dogs' teeth on my skin. Don't need my skin to be busted up. No, thank you. No, thank you. This pizza's good. This pizza's very good. Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to see now. Let's see if I can make it to 2 hours, and I think I'm going to go. So I'll try to stay on as long as I can. I'll see if I can stay on as long as I can. I got a couple things to do anyway. I got to make decisions on certain things, and I don't know. Got to start making decisions. Of course, my family, they're too busy for me. So, yeah, my family, they went their separate ways with me, so to speak. And, yeah, what can I do? What the heck can I do? Mm. Mm-hmm. Pizza's so delicious. Mm. 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 Yeah, boy, just yeah. See if we get back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I put my pizzas back in the refrigerator. I'll probably eat them maybe later today or maybe tomorrow. Yeah, maybe today or tomorrow. I'll think about it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to eat too much food. Yeah, I gotta go to my doctor on Monday, and yeah, she'll probably put me on a diet or something, or she'll tell me to eat less. I gotta try to eat less pizza. Usually I'll eat the whole thing, but I gotta try to cut back a little. Gotta keep my weight down. That's what I gotta do. Yeah. I've had friends that died in their 40s, 50s, and 60s before, kind of feel sorry for their families and them too. Those that are nice people. Oh, those that are nice. Oh. Yeah. Mm. So good. So delicious. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, now it's getting kind of. Yeah, boy. Gotta remind myself I gotta do a couple things too after the show. Yeah. Maybe I'll have to make my smoothies and some other stuff too. Yeah. Do I like coffee? I don't drink coffee. No, not me. I'm not a coffee drinker. Nope. I don't drink coffee of any kind. I drink tea once in a while. I got to start drinking my tea, though. I've been drinking that in a while. Have a sip of tea. Yeah, I got plenty of that left. Plenty of tea left. See, I should start making the cold tea. Yeah, cash wise, it was pretty cool. What was it? I paid like, was it 25 cents for 4 tumblers glasses? Something like that, I think. Or no, it's $1 for four. $1 for 4 tumblers glasses. I said, excuse me, is this a mistake? $1 for 4 tumblers glasses? I told the salesperson. I told one of the employees there. He says, no, I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's correct. I said, sir, you sure? He says, well, he's the cashier. He asked the cashier about it. He said, and asked the cashier, is this right? I was sure because I didn't. She says, oh, that's right. She says, that's right. I said, cool. Got 4 nice tumbler glasses for $1. Big ones too. Nice. Yeah, usually they charge like $1, $2, sometimes $3 a tumbler glass. Now they charge a quarter a piece at Cashwise in New Ulm. That was just so far out. Sometimes at Cashwise, you just find the best deals, you know. Just like those 2 Oster ones, the Oster Food Chopper and the Oster Blender. I paid like $10 a piece for it. That's usually $40, $50 for one of those. Yeah, that was just, oh, I was so happy. I was just so happy to pay for that. Yeah. Yep, I just was so happy. Oh, good. Oh. Yeah, just so happy. What's my plans for this week? Yeah, I don't know. Today I'm just gonna mostly stay home. I really have no place to. I didn't plan on going any place right now, and maybe I'll travel somewhere next month. But right now, though, I just paid, was it over $700 for 4 tires, and pretty soon when I hit the 100-mile mark, I'm gonna have to go back to the dealership and have them torque my screws. You know, I'll have to have them retorque it so that way the tires will stay there. Yeah, I'll just have to go back to the shop, take care of that. I had to buy 4 tires. I didn't want to. I was going to wait till later, but then I got that flat tire, and I was not very happy. I wanted to wait till later this year to get 4 tires. I didn't want to do it right now, to be honest with you, but yeah, one tire goes off, I thought I'll just replace all 4 of them, and I did. And I was hoping I could find somebody that'll take the tires and sell them cheap, but I don't really know anybody in town. So, you know, because when you live in apartments and stuff or other places like I do, the ones with houses, they don't really want to talk to you. So that's the way it is. Yep, that's really the way it is. Yeah, they are. They're all weather. They're Goodyear. I wanted to get Michelin's, but the Michelin's are like 100. God, what was it? 180. What was it, $180, $90 a tire or something like that? Yikes! So I paid $152 a tire because I didn't want to go cheapest. Actually, I wanted an all-season tire, so in the winter time it'll help keep the car on the road instead of slide around like the other tires did. The other tires, my car, one time when I made a stop, my car must have slid almost a quarter of a block or something. I was freaked out. Yeah, I was totally freaked out at the time. Yeah, I was totally freaked out at the time. Yeah, car has been running pretty good. I did replace the alkylator. That's some motor where it like locks and unlocks the doors, like when you like push the button. Yeah, the driver's door didn't unlock, so now it does fine. Yeah, I had to replace that. Of course, I could use the key and unlock the door, but these days you see how keys aren't built like they used to. You know, they're not built like they used to. Because the old time keys, say those old time cars, they were built like this, solid steel. You know, very strong. You know, it won't wear out in about 20 lifetimes. But nowadays, though, they make things a little weaker. But what can you do? Yeah, what can you do? And then nowadays for vehicles, they don't use those key locks anymore, as I understand it. Yeah, they all have the push buttons. They all do now. All of them, as I've heard. All of them have that now. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. They all have that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, those new tires do look nice. Yeah. Just wish I would have bought them later, though. I didn't want to buy them really right now, but since I had that flat tire by the Glockenspiel, called that tow truck, and I gotta remember the name of the tow truck though. Some towing. Yeah, a guy named Neil came out. Real nice man, Neil. Real nice guy. He kind of put up with me, and then I told him I said I got to walk to the laundry. He said, "Hey man, how about?" He says, "Hey, how about I'll give you a ride? How's that sound?" I said, "No, sounds great." He said, "Yeah." It was like 6 blocks out of his way, and he gave me a ride to the laundromat. Of course, I had to pay the towing for towing the car, but luckily I had Visa with me. So, because tow trucks, where I come from, they all they take is credit cards. They don't take cash. All they take is credit cards. Yeah, that's all they take now for tow trucks. Yeah, that's all they take. Yeah, and they towed my car. It's the first time I've had my car towed. Let's see, I never had. Well, it's an interesting thing about my 1997 Buick Park Avenue. It was bought in 2006. It lasted in, let's see, 16 years. 2006 to, or is it 17 years? I think it was 17. It's got to be 16, 17. I'll go check. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It was 2023. 2000. Oh, 17 years. 17 years. Yeah. I had the car 17 years. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Okay, August 14, 2023 is when I got the Grand Marquis. So it's a little over 2 years I got the Grand Marquis. I had the Park Avenue for 17 years. And if it wasn't for being in the garage most of the time, I don't think the Park Avenue would have lasted 17 years. Because once it was out of the garage, that car just rusted like crazy. I'd never seen a car rust so fast in my life. And I even washed it once a month most of the time. But towards the end, it was rusting so fast I gave up washing the car. Yeah. Now, if you're in a southern state and you have the Park Avenue, it'd be great. If you lived down south, like, say Arizona or something like that, or some places in Texas, yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, you don't have to worry about rust really in the top or bottom so much. I think some of the rust would be on top, but the top rust wouldn't be as bad. Yeah, otherwise, other than that rusting fast to Park Avenue, I got like 26, 27 miles to the gallon on the highway. I got outstanding gas mileage for a car like that, I mean, the funny thing about the Park Avenue, the passenger stuff, when you go inside, that had tons of room. With my seat all the way back, somebody 6'2" could sit in the back seat comfortably. Where in the Grand Marquis, if I have the seat all the way back, you'd have to have a 4-year-old child with skinny legs to fit through the seat. Yeah, a 4-year-old child with skinny legs, very skinny legs, because the Grand Marquis doesn't have the interior room, but the trunk is much bigger and the hood is like a lot longer. And I noticed when I opened the hood, unlike the Park Avenue where the radiator was like way in front, practically by the bumper, the Grand Marquis is like way in the back. And I noticed why they did that. That's for safety reasons. That's what I figure. It's a safety feature. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the Grand Marquis was kind of built more for safety than the Park Avenue as I see it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just saying I say it as I see it. Still never forget when I accidentally hit that poor deer. Couldn't hardly see at night. My brother wanted me to go faster. I wanted to go about 40, 45. I was going 55, and I see that deer. It looked at my headlights and went boom. It was going 55 miles an hour. I decapitated the deer, actually. It was like a teenage deer, doe, and I just decapitated her. It was just, wow. I didn't mean to, neither. It was near the town of Regal, Minnesota. I'll never forget the town's name, Regal, because I used to remember a wrestler named Steve Regal. Or so was a Steve Regal in AWA and Lord Steven Regal in the WCW. Yeah. And I think even though if those two guys were the same age, I think Lord Steven Regal could easily kick ass on the other Steve Regal. Because he was bigger and stronger and yeah. And that guy, Lord Steven Regal, he used to win strongman contests all the time where he came from. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to drive 40, 45 actually. So the next time, get this. When I drove the Grand Marquis, I was driving kind of outside of town going towards Highway 14. I was going 45. I saw a deer again go on the road. If I would have went 55, I would have hit that deer too. But I went 45 and I stopped and I didn't hit the deer at all. Because it was a foggy day too. Just like at night, it was like pitch black, and stuff like that. Yeah, it wasn't as well lighted, but when I was driving outside in New Ulm, though, it was very foggy day. And when it's fog outside, then the deer get confused, Yeah, let's think about deer, though. Harstead, Harstad, Harstead. Yeah, he had a famous granddaughter, kind of, named Tanya Kuzumato. See, she got murdered by these two guys that were like with her, Of course, they wanted to be with her because Tanya, see, she worked as a stripper, That was the weirdest thing. His granddaughter, Tanya Kuzumato, she was a stripper. And I guess those guys probably wanted some, and she said no, and they did what they wanted. And Lester was just upset about it. He says, I don't understand my granddaughter, Tanya. Yeah, she's doing that stripping stuff. He says, that's just totally wrong. He says, I don't know what the young lady was thinking, something like that. I said, yeah, Lester, I don't understand either. Of course, his father, Carl, okay, his son or her father, Carl, and his first wife were divorced. And I guess, like Lester, Carl wasn't around for his child, so probably didn't pay attention to her. So Tanya Kuzumato turned into a stripper who hung around with the wrong people, It's called Harstead, Harstad, Harstead. Yeah. Not Thorstead or Horsted, Harstead, Harstad, Harstead. Yeah, he He was a different character, that guy. They made the worst dinners. I mean, the food they cooked was so bad that the time I was in the workhouse in Plymouth, Minnesota for drunk driving, the workhouse food in Plymouth, Minnesota was gourmet compared to their cooking. That was gourmet. Imagine workhouse food is gourmet, and workhouse food is actually disgusting, you know, because you never know, those cooks in the workhouse, they will probably spit in your food for all you know, or I know, they'll spit in your food. And those guards, they're not going to care. Um, or you talk Lester Harsted, yeah, yeah. Oh, the food, yeah. Oh, the food that Lester stuff cooked. Oh, the cooking part, yeah. They made these funky hot dishes. They'd like serve us rutabagas, and they expected us to eat it. I mean, do you know a kid who likes rutabagas? I don't know any kid who likes rutabaga. Ugh, revolting. Still won't eat it. Oh, then just this funky food. Yeah. Hey, you don't see rutabaga sold in stores too often, really, not in Minnesota anyway. I guess it depends on what state you live in, but yeah, I was kind of glad. Oh yeah, every time my dad would ask me if I want to go to Lester's house, no, I'll stay home, Dad. I'd always stay home. I never go to his house anymore after that. I think after the fourth grade, I never went to his house again. Never. Yeah, I have a YouTube video on that Lester Harstad farm. You can see what they're like. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it on my YouTube real quick. Okay. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Outside Sabika, Minnesota, and Lester Marvin Harstead Farm in summer 1993. Yeah, that's when Ida was like burning garbage in a, yeah. That's like Ida burning in the garbage. See that? Ida burning garbage in a garbage can outside. I mean, you're facing that disgustingly dangerous chemicals. Yeah. Did you see that? I mean, those burning garbage, all that chemicals I could give. She died of cancer. Yeah. Get this. The irony of it is she died of cancer. Oh, the irony, you know? Yeah. Oh, the irony. She died of cancer. That's the thing, you know. Yeah, breathing that garbage, you know. Oh yeah, a person should never see. Sometimes when I go to people's houses, if they're burning something that's like Tweety, Tweety. Yeah, there was one that was Tweety. Oh, I don't know the name of that cat. No, there's a cat named Tweety. That one was, yeah, that one was very fat. Yeah, that one was probably what, 15 pounds overweight. Yeah, shouldn't give it so much food, you know. Oh, very fat. Yeah, yeah. How would you like to go out there? Would you like to go out there? I would. No, but actually, besides that, Lester did have some cool older cars. Yeah, he had I think a 62 Chevy convertible. They were all rusted, mind you. They were all rusted, but at the same time, a lot of those cars are collectibles. He had cars in the 40s, the 50s in the barn and stuff like that. No, mostly 50s, that's right. I once rode in the back seat of his 55 Buick. It was actually a lot of fun. Cool, that was before the laws were kids like 8 years old. You can't, an 8-year-old kid cannot ride in a 1950s car anymore, you know? I mean, stupid laws like that, you know? But back then I could. Actually, that was a lot of fun. And Lester asked me, he said, "Hey, Randy, how do you like riding in this car?" I said, "It's neato, Lester. Sure is different." "Yeah, that's when I used to build these cars really strong and good. Better looking too." He says, "These modern cars nowadays, I'm telling you, they look a lot uglier." And I thought to myself later on, I thought, not really. Because I think those 60s and 70s vehicles, I think look better in a way, to my opinion. The 40s and 50s are all right. 30s are all right. No, let's see the Model Ts. Yeah, he owned a few of those Model Ts out in the field. I think he sold those, one for, was it 400 and another for 250, or probably burnt. I actually sold the Model Ts that he had out in the field that were burnt up. Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, I wish my mother would have went inside and seen his cars and stuff. That'd have been cool, but she never did. Yeah, they were different. If you ever hear that video, they're different. Those Harsteads were different. Lester Harstead was different. Ida Pugsley was different too. Yeah. No, I wasn't. No, that's one of my YouTube things. It's vintage videos and others I'm not in. There's some videos I put up on my mother's. I wasn't there, but I put it up anyway. I just put it up anyway. Yeah, I put it up anyway. Might as well. Nope, I wasn't recording all of Lester Harstead. I wouldn't go out there. I wouldn't go out there. Believe me. If you ever, if you hear Ida, if you scroll around, you see Ida by her Oldsmobile. Oh God, she's irritating. Huh? Yeah, Jesus. I don't know how. I don't know how my mother's talking behind her. Oh, for goodness sakes! Yeah, you could tell my mother was the nice one behind the camera, because my mother, she was a very nice lady, and I don't know how she put up with Ida. Boy, my mother was probably the only person I know that liked her. Almost everybody else I knew didn't like her. Yeah. Salute to the Wild Horse fans, of course. Yeah, it's just, yeah, that video was really funny. I had to put that up. I had to put it up. Then my mother was showing them with Tin Can Alley. They're littering cans in the farm. I mean, that's bad for groundwater when you put a bunch of tin cans together, like in a hole. That's bad for the groundwater. You don't do that. Yeah. Oh, very big yard. No, that was an actual farm. He was actually farming corn and stuff. He had like my goodness, I think he had like, God, I think 20, 30 acres. So it's kind of a small farm. It was much bigger, but I think I don't know if he sold and rented some of the farm land to other farmers and stuff. Yeah. No, no, he sold that house. He moved to Wadena for a while. Then he got crippled. And a guy named Harley Umland, he paid him for everything. There's one guy I didn't like, was Harley Umland. He's the type of guy, if you didn't pay him money, he didn't like you. That's the kind of crud ball that Harley Umland was. Talked to him once, and I told my dad, I said, I want to stay away from that guy. He just can't. He says, well, I don't know. I said, well. Then one time he came over to the house. He got stuff from Lester, and then my dad was saying, oh, he'll come back. Harley said he'd come back. Harley never came back. Then my dad complained. I said, Dad, I told you Harley Umland won't come back, because if you don't pay him, he don't come back, because Harley Umland looks for money. Yeah, Lester paid him for everything. He paid him to drive his car, paid him to get him groceries. Anytime Lester sneezed, probably he had to pay Harley money to get him a Kleenex, for all I know. Oh yeah, Lester is paid my dad. Harley wanted money for everything. No, nothing about Harley. Nothing about Harley, no. No, just that one of Lester, yeah. There's another one of Wilson Lutheran Strand. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, but I mean, we would have helped him for a lot less. My dad wanted me and him to help. I said, why should we help him, Dad? He's paying Harley a lot more money than us. Why should we help him? If he gets rid of Harley, then we can help him. Otherwise, why should we help him if Harley's around trying to start fights with us, Dad? I said, it isn't worth it. Then my dad did. Now we disappeared. And when Lester called, we weren't home because my dad was disappearing on him pretty often, actually. Because my mother convinced him to go places. Of course, my dad had a stroke and strokes and lost his mind and stuff. Yeah, just like my mother with Alzheimer's, unfortunately. Yeah. Oh yeah, that Harstead farm. Yeah, that one. And let's see, what other? She did one of. Then she did one inside the car that wasn't very good. Yeah, that's my last name. Okay. Oh yeah, it's okay. Well, it's Lichen. Yeah, Lichen. Yeah, that's my last name, Lichen. Okay. Yeah, it's a dumb last name. I know. Maybe hopefully someday. I think when I get to be a very rich man, I'll change it to Peltier, my mother's maiden name, which it should be, because when I was born, my mother and dad weren't married, so on a technicality, that should be my mother's last name. But they decided to use my dad's last name instead. And some kids would say, "Oh, your name's Lichen, huh? Oh, grown from a rock." Because lichens are grown from a rock, it's moss. It's called lichens. Some, Lichens. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, my mom was behind the camera. And one with the late Uncle Buck, that one is pretty good. Showed Uncle Buck singing. He was telling a bunch of stories. I mean, according to my late Uncle Buck, he knew every famous person in Hollywood in the old days. In the 40s and 50s, he acted like he knew everybody in Hollywood. Yeah, he was telling his baloney. He was telling his baloney how everybody loved him and blah 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 blah. No. Then I saw the thing about his recording contract he supposedly had. I Googled it. Didn't even exist. I think it was some con artist that was trying to get his money. Some con artist out there. Because they had con artists back then too. They take people's money and run. Back then it was a lot harder to trace people when they were dishonest than they are now. A lot harder back then to trace them. Nowadays with all these sophisticated computers and all that. Oh geez. Yeah, you got to be computer smart to get away with dishonest deeds. And there's people out there like that, sure. Oh yeah, there's people out there like that. They'll genius minds, but they want to do dishonest things and rip people off. Yeah, there's people like that too. Oh, it's just amazing. I got 5, 6 people out there. Yeah. Boy, I'm getting a lot of people lately. I guess they must be checking out my channel or something. Must be checking out my channel, seeing I'm like, and yeah. I think they're comparing us, comparing us 3 guys, and yeah, that's all right. That's all right. I got 1 more minute. I'm gonna go because I got 7 people. Maybe should I extend it? I don't know. So with all these extra people, I mean, I don't know. Claims I got 7. Oh, I got 6 again. It says 1 watching for you. Weird. It says 6 for me. This YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. So it says 6 watching. It says 1 here, and this person would not lie to me. It says 6 watching. Come on. Oh, good. It says 6 watching. Stop. It says 6 watching. Shut up. I'll put it on a YouTube short video. It says 6. Shut up. There. Might as well. I don't know. YouTube shorts to me are garbage anyway. I don't even like YouTube shorts. I just put stuff up I don't put on my main channel. I just put up things like inside the laundromat or something like that, or or parked by a sheriff's vehicle. Yeah. Stuff like that. Might as well, huh? Oh, geez. Weird. Yeah, it's for me, it says 2 hours and 1 minute. Crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, well, I got enough put on anyway, so I'm not going to be like some YouTubers where anytime they do one little thing, they put everything up. I don't do that. So I think I'm going to head out. I got to use the restroom anyway. So bye, everybody. Thanks for watching and have a good day.